Hello, welcome to the queue. It is turn 5 and it is an extra long, not really long in length, but long in countries. This will be UK, China, Italy, and Commonwealth. And there's a reason for that because on the US turn, Rome has fallen to a combined attack of the British and US forces. So you can see what's left over there. This guy is not. He was in question for a little bit, but we decided he is off. So Rome now is 2 mechs, 2 artillery, 2 tanks, and one of those tanks happens to be British. All right, so when Rome falls, they immediately switch to the Allied side. So let's take a look at what happens to all their territories. So first up, let's do the German territories. The Germans here, even though that factory's got all that damage, 15, they have 4 infantry and 2 artillery, so that goes to Germany. There are no Italians there, so nothing happens there. In Cairo, they do have a German land unit there, so that switches to Germany as well, along with, what is that, 6 infantry, a mech, and a tank. So all those will be German. So we're going to move Germany up 4, 6. So they're going to go up 6 to their highest point of the war, 39. No, I guess they were higher. I think they were at 40 at one point. All right, so get rid of that Italian marker. I'm going to take the Italian marker off, and we'll add their money up at the end here of their turn. So territories with Axis units or C zones switch. So that switches. That switches. Iran and Iraq will switch to Japan. Now there's no Italian units, but the countries themselves switch to Japan. So that will be 4 up for Japan. So they go to 55. And last but not least, now we do the Allied sides. So Cyprus, Transjordan, and Alamein go back to Britain, and only one of those is worth $1, so Britain will go up 1. And here's the country that gets the shaft, the Commonwealth, because Ethiopia and Italian Somaliland go back to Allied Italy. So they actually go down 1, so they'll go down to 23 for no fault of their own. They didn't do anything wrong, but there they are. Let's see, do I got a yellow marker? I want to mark this Italian I'll just mark it with this Italian roundel to make sure I move that because it's kind of hidden in all that stuff. All right, so what is left of Italy? Territory-wise, they've got Rome, Sicily, Sardinia. Albania goes back to Italy, so Russia loses $1 as well. So they will come down to 42. All right, so the territories will be Albania, Rome, Sicily, Sardinia, Libya, and Tobruk, Ethiopia, Somaliland. Their forces consist of 2 infantry on Cyprus and this fleet here in 81 with nobody to move. Germany owns 1/2, so they can't get into the Med. And that is the state of Italy right now. Now we begin the British turn. That was to remind me of some anti-aircraft rolls, but we did it off camera in the chat. What had happened is this factory was bombed and they didn't roll for the anti-aircraft. There were no hits, so both bombers are still there. There was one anti-aircraft missed in Rhone, dice that is. It was rolled and it was a miss. So nothing goes there. The other thing is this U.S. Sub and this British destroyer convoyed these 2 islands for 2 each, so Japan does lose $4. So they gained 4 on the income chart, but they lost 4 in spending money for the next turn. And then this U.S. sub that was not there, or it wasn't on his map, so Admiral Balch was supposed to roll for that convoy, but I don't know what he did with the sub. So with it not being there, he didn't know. So we rolled it off map, and that convoy takes place on the Japanese turn. So on the U.S. turn, it'll just move 1 over to 37. And I think that's it for cleanup. We did Italy. We did an overview of all the missed rolls on the U.S. turn. And now it's British turn. And they have $20 to spend. They're going to buy a heavy bomber, artillery, and an infantry and save $1. All right, so get rid of their cash. Let's look at their attacks. They do have an attack. I can't use any of these ships. That tank, my fighters and carriers are all gone, thanks to the scramble. This bomber can't move. It participated, so it's limited to what's down here. The good news is I can follow up with the Commonwealth. So we're going into, this was actually set up because I was going to bomb that port before we decided to take Rome. All right, so I've got a fighter attack. They'll both have a movement of 3 left. And then here from whatever that is, Sudan, we got 2 infantry. No, 2 artillery, boosting 2 infantry. There's 2 infantry by themselves, 1 tank, the fighter attack, and then this heavy bomber will bring up 2 more infantry into that battle. And then, what is that? 1, 2, 3. It'll have a movement of 3 left as well. All right, so that is the attack. I don't think there's any other attacks. He's just non-com. British Navy is shrinking. There's nothing up there. That's it. This was going to be an attack. I'll move him now. This mech is going to drive over to Libya. But since it's allied now, it's not an attack. So he's just there. So let's roll for that. There's no anti-aircraft guns there. So Britain, and we'll put this dice cup there. They've got a fighter and a tactical, which we're going to boost because this is going to be a long battle, hopefully. We've got a tank. We've got 2 artillery, 2 infantry. And then we have 4 infantry at 1. And we don't necessarily have to win this battle. We just got to whittle them down. But that's a dang good roll. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. All right, so 6 hits. I think that'll be the 6 former Italian infantry. All right, there's 4, 5, 6. All right. So that means they'll have 6, 7, 8. They'll have 8 at 2, 2 3s, and a 4. All right, I think we can get all that into a cup. Let's see what they get back on us. All right, so what did I say? A 4, 2 3s, and 8 2s. All right. And they get 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 back on us. So that's 4, 5 infantry. And let's put that over there. Casualties. All right, so we've got 4 land units and 2 planes versus 3 land units and 2 planes. So slight advantage if we can get a decent second roll here for round 2. We're going to have 2 artillery, 1 infantry. We've got the tactical, the fighter, and the tank. Let's see what we get hit-wise. Only 2, so that's not good. So that means they'll lose those final 2s, the infantry and the mech. So they will defend with 2 2s, 2 3s, and a 4, which is almost identical to what I just rolled. Only they do better. They get 3 hits. I think that evens us up, though, as far as units. So the 3 hits will be the 2 artillery, and the infantry. All right, so it's 1 tank, fighter tactical, against 1 tank, fighter tactical. So we are going to make that attack. Let's see how this works out. Oh, almost got 3. So we got 2 of them. So the tactical will be gone for sure. Oh, yeah, they're going to want the fighter because it defends at 4. All right, so here's the defense. 2 3s and a 4 for the defense. Oh my gosh. Do I keep going? That means I got to lose the British planes. It would be a 3 versus a 4. So right now, I got to lose 2. So the tactical's gone for sure. Oh, what to do? I don't know if I can win that. I probably lose anyway, you know. Even if I get a hit, that 4 probably is a hit. So let's take the tank and where can we land that fighter? All right, so that's it. The battle's over. Germany holds Cairo. So this fighter has 3 movements left. It's just going to go 1 into El Alamein. And this heavy bomber has 3 left. I wonder if I want to go back. I was planning on building everything up in London. So I'm going to keep with that. So this heavy bomber then, with 3 movements left, will just go to Egypt as well. Or El Alamein. All right, so that's the planes landed. The other, there's no movement there. This destroyer here comes out of 44, 1, 2 into 41. And that's only a stopgap. That's not going to keep Japan off its feet. So that's pretty much it. So let's, like I said, I was placing this all up in London there. So the bomber, another artillery, and another infantry. And that is what that is. All right. I don't think there's any more movement. All those ships took place, so that's pretty much it. All right, so they saved 1. They are at 21 and no bonuses, so they'll have 22 for next turn. So close to taking Cairo back. So close. All right, China has 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So all 6, they're going to buy 2 infantry and go into Johor. That's the China turn. But they are 1, 2, 5. So they're at $5. So they'll have $5 for next turn to spend. So we'll get that out of there. All right, China is done. On to Italy. They're going to spend 16 and save 7. 2 tanks and an anti-aircraft gun. And the reason is they only have that minor factory, so they can only place 3 units. So with Italy, they have no attacks. Non-com, these 2 infantry will load up on this British heavy bomber as an air transport in Cyprus. That's where the fighter was going, the British fighter. You know, I didn't mark it, so I didn't do it. Oh well. It is what it is. So let's go with the Italian fleet. This cruiser, well, the transport's going to stay. The question is, the battleship and the cruiser will come out 2 to 77. Or do I want to split those up? Well, let's see if anything can really hit this transport. We're going to clean that up with Commonwealth, so that will not be a landing spot. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. So they can land in Iraq if they wanted to. So that means I'll leave the battleship there in 81, and the cruiser, 2 cruisers will come over to 80. And that's going to have to be what that looks like. Well, let's see what the planes here are. There's one plane. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So it can't hit either one of those. So we'll split those up. All right, that'll kind of block those transports off. So that's what we're going to end up with. A cruiser in 77 and a cruiser in 80. Battleship in 81. Transport in 80 or 81 as well. The 2 infantry load up on that British bomber as a transport. We'll place in Rome our anti-aircraft gun and 2 tanks. Now what we collect, we saved 7. I don't think we get any. Yeah, we don't have any bonuses. So we're going to collect 1, 2, 3. What is Rome worth? 6, 7. So Italy is going to be at 7 now. So we'll collect $7. So that'll be $14 for the next turn. And I believe that is it. Yeah. Okay, I think that's golden. Whoops. Knocking stuff over. All right, I think. Well, no, I haven't done Commonwealth yet. That's why I was looking to make sure, because we got 4 countries going. There's a lot happening. So that should be it. Now Commonwealth. They have 27, so that's 2 transports, 1 infantry, 1 fighter, and they are now coming in to clean up this. We're going to send. Do I have another infantry here? No, I'm going to rail one of those. I don't think. Yeah, right up here. Let's trade this chip out for one of these infantry here. All right. All right, because 1 infantry, 1 artillery are going to do something else in non-com. So going into Egypt will be 3 artillery, 1 infantry, 2 tanks, 1, 2, and our fighter. He'll have 2 left as well. You know what? I don't think we need our fighter, so I want him somewhere else, actually. All right, any other? That's a non-com because that is now. Oh, we don't need to bomb that anymore. That's a non-com because that will be. That's already British now that Rome flipped. Nothing up there. Down here, we're just non-comming. Okay, so that's it. Pretty much 1 attack. Let's roll our 2 tanks first and just see if they get a hit. 1 does. So the German fighter defends at 4. And it does. So we will lose an artillery just to keep infantry on the front line. So the factory there is still, I thought it had 13 or 15 damage. I think I took one of those markers off. All right, so it goes back to Britain. So Britain's going to go up to 23, and Germany's going to go down to 37. All right, so non-com. This anti-aircraft gun will move into Cairo. This infantry and artillery will load on the British or the Italian transport. I'll just put it like that. This fighter here will fly up to Italian Somaliland. This infantry will walk one into Kenya. Oh, I'm building a transport, so I'm railing one infantry to Kenya, is right. Or is that accurate? I think that's what I'm doing. All right, and then this transport will pick up this infantry artillery in Algeria. 1, 2, 3. I just destroyed Cyprus. All right. Get rid of that red chip. All right, so in Transjordan will be the infantry artillery. Second thought, maybe that's the spot for that fighter. Let's put that fighter in Transjordan. All right. No movements up there. Over here, we're just bringing this transport up with the fleet. The infantry artillery move up here into Queensland. Actually, just the artillery does. One anti-aircraft gun goes south to New South Wales. Nope, it doesn't. It'll stay up in Queensland. It will go down. All right, my bad. All right, so now let's place our goods down here in the south. We're placing one transport in 71. And over here in Sydney, we got in 62 a transport. And in New South Wales, a fighter and an infantry. All right, now we are complete. Let's look at our cash. They are at 23. So there's their 23. Now their bonuses, though, are only 1 now, right? Because those are French. They don't count. So it's Norway. So they've got a bonus of 1. So 24. Need another $1 for next turn. Celebes, yep. All right. So that is it. Let's do a recap of everything now. Britain's income or cash for next turn will be 22, China 5, Italy 14, 24 for Commonwealth. We'll just start up at the top at London. That is a load. All right. So I can't remember how much that is. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 10, 12. 12 British infantry, 2 U.S. infantry, 2 French infantry, 4 Commonwealth infantry, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 artillery, 1 of them's Commonwealth, 3 tanks, 1 of them's Commonwealth, 3 fighters, 1 of them's French, and a strategic bomber, and 5 anti-aircraft guns. Moving south, Libya, we've got a mechanized C-Zone 96, maybe? Oh, for crying out loud. Where is it? 95. We have a transport, 2 cruisers, destroyer, 2 battleships. In Rome is a tank. El Alamein is a fighter and a strategic bomber. Cyprus, strategic bomber. And but I need to do the Commonwealth as well. Commonwealth in 98 is a transport. Transjordan is an infantry, artillery, fighter. That guy is dead. In El Alamein is all Commonwealth. 2 tanks, 2 artillery, 1 infantry, 1 anti-aircraft gun. Kenya is 2 infantry. South Africa is 1 infantry, 1 artillery. 71 is a transport. Java, 2 infantry and a U.S. bomber. 41 is a British destroyer. 54 is a Commonwealth transport. 62 is a Commonwealth transport. Sydney is 2 infantry, AA fighter. And Queensland is infantry, artillery, anti-aircraft gun, and 2 U.S. infantry. And I think that covers all of the British, French, Chinese. Oh, Chinese. 2 Chinese and Jehol. That's all they got left. That should do it. All right, next up will be Russia. And we'll probably see that tonight, I would guess.